Cilla is our special guest star on this week's Bandstand. She's undoubtedly one of the most successful girl singers in the world. She does all those big top 40 songs, and of course, she sings them extremely well. But they show only one facet of her talent, and they don't reveal anything at all of her marvelous sense of humor. In my opinion, a little point song we found on one of her albums does that very well. We're proud to present again on Bandstand, Cilla Black.
When you were a little wolf cub and I was a brownie, we always remembered our good turn each day. First it was your turn, and then it was my turn, and everything was wonderful, carefree and gay. Follow me, tonight is the night of the jamboree. When you were a little wolf cub and I was a brownie, we learned all the regulations, of which there were lots. We'd wander into the clover and try them all over. I did my semaphore while you did your knots. Follow me, I'll punch your nose if you touch me new. When you were a little wolf cub and I was a brownie, we did everything a wolf cub and brownie should do. You wanted to be a Boy Scout so you could salute me with 3 fingers vertical instead of just 2. Follow me, we'll go to the grotto and get slightly blotto. To hell with the motto, just follow me. I love camping, don't you?
Yes, dear. There's a bone of reed knot you've tied there, dear.
Oh, get your hands off me, Toggle.
Yeah, that's it.
Couple of Philip schools here, Cilla.
Hello.
How long since you were last in Australia?
Oh, about 3 years ago. I came and it was boiling hot, and now it's been very cold. I'm dying to get a tan. I'm still waiting.
It's nearly boiling hot again today.
Oh, the odd days are nice, but then I'm working like today.
It's not fair.
No.
When you first started, when you first hit with your first record, what effect did it have on your life? You know, the sudden recognition and money and things like that.
Oh, it was smashing. I remember the first things that knocked me out was having a telephone beside me bed. Oh, I thought that was lovely. I used to ring up, especially in hotels. I mean, I never had telephone. I still don't have a telephone beside my bed at home in Liverpool, but in hotels I used to be made up with ringing everybody. But I loved all the money bit and buying all kinds of clothes because I love buying clothes.
And what about the recognition? Did you go through a swollen-headed period?
Well, I think everybody's, they do, but my head was like, all went to my face, everything. Oh, I was unbearable for about 4 months. I'm sure I was. I didn't think I was unbearable, but, my manager, Brian Epstein, my personal manager, Bobby Willis, and, they all thought, oh, she won't last.
I think you're very lucky. I mean, if you came out of it after 4 months, there are people who still haven't come down from the clouds.
Well, I just got sick of myself, I think if you don't get sick of yourself in that way, if you don't learn, you'll never learn. And I sort of stood outside myself and had a good look at myself, and I went, ugh, didn't like it.
Did you ever find early on that you'd sort of go out of your way to be recognized because this was such a strange, nice new thing that was happening?
No, it was the other way. I was the worst type, I think. I'd walk along the street and I'd think everybody was looking at me. Oh, and I thought, well, I got a chip on my shoulder. I got this nervous twitch. They're looking at me. And my mother used to say, the state of you and the price of fish. Why should they be looking at you?
You've managed to retain, and it's so obvious this time in every interview I've heard or seen, a marvellous normalcy. Surely you must come into a certain amount of contact with the frenetic fringe of pop music, which is always written about, always makes headlines, the minority. How have you managed to keep away from them?
What does phonetic fringe mean?
I had to ask that before, actually.
I don't know what that means.
The sort of crazy people who hit themselves and who smoke pot and who
What
have
do I
wild
think
parties,
about
who lose reality, who lose touch with reality. Now, what I want to know is how you've managed to keep apart from that and keep so normal.
Well, the thing is that I was very, very ordinary. I think really ordinary. That these people that you're talking about, I think, were a bit odd to start with. I mean, I was never odd. I was ordinary odd, but never odd. And I think that's why they leaned towards the bad things. I think because they had something wrong with their brain.
You don't think it's sort of a stimulation, excitement thing, and it's very hard to come off stage and just let down? Do you find this when you finish a show?
No, when I finish a show, I'm so exhausted and pleased, especially when I've gone down well, that I don't need anything like pot to get me going. In fact, one glass of champagne and I'm anybody's anyway, so I don't need that sort of thing.
I certainly didn't mean that I thought you would. You're the most normal person I've ever met in the business, I think. And you're unfrenetic. Can you say unfrenetic?
Unfrenetic? What the hell does that mean, unfrenetic?
We'll get it all written down, all the shades of meaning later on.
Don't they speak funny over here?
Being a girl,
yes,
I think, must have certain penalties. You can't just accept dates from here, there, and everywhere because often the fellas are just impressed with your performance on stage and want to take out the famous.
Oh well, I don't go out with people off stage.
But have you found it a drag not being able to?
Oh no, I take ages to get to know really. I mean, on stage at Checkers at the moment, I appear rather more friendly than I'm quite reserved off stage. And if I sort of, call you chutchy face and things like that. I mean, one fella came round and...
Chutchy face?
Chutchy face.
What's that?
Well, when you go, chutchy face.
Well, you've given me a word now. Sorry, this fella.
Well, this fella came backstage and knocked on the door. My manager went to the door. He said, I want to see Cilla. She gave me the eye when she was on stage. Oh, and I thought, the dirty dog. No, I'm more reserved off stage. When I go on stage, that's me, but not quite so much off stage. I'm a little more reserved. It's my stage act. And although half of it's for real, the other half is purely stage.
You must have noticed a great contrast between this time in Australia and last time, because this time everyone knows you're here.
Yes.
And I feel perhaps the difference is last time you were more associated with the teenage field.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mind you, I didn't mind that. It was lovely. I remember the reception at the airport. It was absolutely marvellous.
I don't mean you've left them behind. I think you've broadened your scope.
Oh, well, I was a little girl when I came over with the fringe and the long hair and a dirty big nose sticking out there. I think I have changed, and I think I've changed for the better. I hope so, anyway.
Well, the impact is enormous, as witnessed the houses at Checkers. And also, of course, your BBC show going so very well, we hear.
Oh, yes, I do another one when I go back. It starts on Christmas Eve.
Another one or another series?
Another series, yes.
How many were in the first series?
9. You see, I don't do a lot because I'm frightened of, too much exposure on the telly. But I must try and get them to... I don't know why it's not over here, because it was great. We had Tom Jones and Ringo and people like Spike Milligan, who's my favourite comedian. It was a lovely series. I'll plug it when I get back to...
Well, how long ago was it?
It was only the beginning of this year, January.
Well, I've no doubt it will get here. I'm sure it will.
Oh, I hope so. Anyway.
We'll write to you and let you know. Oh, you'll know anyway because you get royalties or something.
Well, I'll be coming back anyway.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yes.
That's good. What do you plan to do, apart from successful nightclub appearances and obviously more recordings?
Well, after the series, hope to do another film, but I haven't had any offers yet. But I had to plug that up. Usually, see, the last time I got the series is when I did a West End show review for 9 months in London. And I got some more offers when I was doing the television series. You've got to remind people at home anyway that you're still around. And this time when I do the series, maybe they might come up with something. Last time they came up with parts for playing myself, and I thought it'd be the most boring thing to do, to try and play oneself, because, I mean, do you know what you do? I mean, when you analyse...
No, I think it's probably the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, so we turned all them parts down, and I want to play somebody like Sarah Bernhardt, cry my eyes out and everything.
A really tragic, great acting role.
Oh, yeah. In the
Something
fella
to get
leaves...
your teeth into.
Yes. Yeah, the fella's leg when he's leaving the door. I love all that, but, please don't leave me. Do you think I do it well?
I didn't mean get your teeth into it in quite that way, but I suppose it would be effective. Have we got it? Oh, we have to press on. You ready to sing again?
Oh, I'm dying to.
Whoopee.
I'm raring to go.
Here we go with the Cilla Black version of You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To.
You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire while the breeze on high sang a lullaby. You'd be all that I could desire. Under stars chilled by the winter, under the August moon burning above, you'd be so nice, you'd be paradise to come home to and love. While the breeze on high sang a lullaby, you'd be all that I could desire. Under stars chilled by the winter, under the August moon burning above, you'd be so nice. You'd be paradise to come home to and love, to come home to and Oh, there's never been a man who could mistreat me like you do, who could trample on my pride and play around as much as you. Well, you really shake my mind up with your cheating and your lies, till at last I make my mind up and I turn to say goodbye, say goodbye. Suddenly you love me and your arms are open wide. Suddenly wild horses couldn't tear you from my side. Every time it happens as I turn to walk away, suddenly you love me and I know I gotta stay. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 oh, zai. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 zai. When you find your fascination in the arms of other girls, you must know my reputation comes to nothing in the world. So you take off in a hurry anytime it pleases you, and you only start to worry when I say I'm leaving you, leaving you. Suddenly you love me and your arms are open wide. Suddenly wild horses couldn't tear you from my side. Every time it happens as I turn to walk away, suddenly you love me and I know I gotta say, I need your love, my need is strong.